Hi folks, in this video I'm gonna go through all the commands in this org mode compact guide that you can find on the net. Specifically in this video we're gonna go through all the commands in the document structure folder. So let's get to it. Okay, so let me just create a dummy document structure here. Let's say we have this document structure. If we fold it, it's like this. So we got 4 level 2 headings here, and the first one we're gonna go through is the tab key. All right, it's linked to the org cycle command. So what it does is on a specific subheading, if you press tab repeatedly, it goes through the visibility cycle for that subtree. So like that, see? First invocation, it revealed the V subheading. Do it again. It's gone. Do it again. Now it shows the content under the V subheading. So just go through the visibility cycle for that subtree. Okay. Same thing here. Okay. If you wanna, well, the next thing is org global cycle, which is linked to shift and tab keys. So if you put your pointer anywhere and invoke shift tab, it will do the same thing that I've described before, but it does it to the whole document. Goes through the visibility cycle for the whole document. Okay, so that's that. So Control U is also called I think it's called the prefix, but you should check on that. But if you add 3 Control U's and then follow up with a tab, it will show everything, including drawers. I'm not gonna mention what drawers are, but maybe in the future videos I'll touch on that. So like if I come here and go tab and folded everything, if I do Control U, Control U, Control U, tab, it goes to this visibility state that shows everything. Alright, so that could be useful, right? Okay, so in terms of moving within the document, so from headings to a heading, there are 2 types, alright? Broadly speaking, you can go from one heading to the next regardless of its recursion level. What I mean by that, this hello heading has 2 stars. It means you could say it has a recursion level of 2, or I would say, I don't know, heading level of 2. So first thing is you can go from one heading to another regardless of its level. Okay, so you can go from forward or backwards, or you could say next to previous, right? The second broad way of navigating through the headings is to take into account its level. So you could go from one heading of the same level to the next. You can also, as before, you can go as with the other option, you can go, you know, next heading of the same level or the previous heading of the same level. Okay, to demonstrate that, I'm gonna I'm gonna create some duplicate headings of the level 3 on this world heading. So I'll just go I don't know, okay, so let's increase the level of these. I'm gonna demote them by 1 level. Okay, so these 3 Emacs is good. These are children of our heading. Okay, I'm just folding and unfolding them. Okay, so yeah, so let me demonstrate navigating regardless of the level of the headings. Okay, so you can go forward or backwards. So it's Control C and then Control N, that's next heading. Control C, Control P is the previous heading. So C, N, as you can see, it goes through the headings regardless of their levels, right? You can go Control C, Control P, that's going backwards, right? So that's straightforward. Now the navigating within the same level. Okay, so I'm gonna put my pointer here and I'm gonna navigate within the same level, which is the level 4. Okay, so to go forward, this time it's Control C, Control F. To go backwards is Control C, Control B. Okay, so Control C, Control F. As you can see, I'm pressing it, Control C, Control F, and there's nothing normal to be navigated on, so it stops there, right? Control C, Control B. See? Again, you can't go any further. So what I've just done is I'm going through forwards and backwards within this same level. Okay, so those are the distinction. Okay, and it helps with the fingers because these are done while Control key is pressed, so it helps if you hold down the Control key. Okay, all right. Let me just delete all that. Okay, so I'm gonna go through what's called the org meta return. It's just a convenient way of adding a heading with the same level. Alright, so if I create a new level 2 heading and just call it hello, if I do in my keyboard meta, which is designated M here, meta is mapped to alt key. So if I do alt return here, so as you can see, it creates a new heading with the same level after the header where the pointer was placed at. So I created a new heading of the level 2 using Alt return. If I do Alt Shift return, the same thing, similar, but it creates a to-do item. Okay. Okay. If I should do it again, if I move here and go Alt Shift return, it worked. Okay. All right. Another very fundamental but very important keystrokes is Alt left and Alt right and Alt up and down. Okay. So basically, if I place my cursor here and do Alt right, it will demote the heading by one level. Okay. Alt left is the opposite. It promotes it by one level. So that's very useful, as you can ponder. Alt up and Alt down, it moves the items up and down, but within the same level. Okay. So if I create here the child node here, and if I try to move this upwards, I do Alt up. Can you see? It doesn't touch the subheading that I've just created. Okay, it moves above this one. Yeah, Alt up and Alt down. Okay, that's what it is. So as you can see, these are the fundamental keystrokes that you need to learn. Okay, I'm halfway there. So the next one is the org refile. Refile just means move the heading to a different heading. Okay, it moves over itself and its subtree all together. Right, so I'll just move the world below here, refile me here. Okay, I'm gonna move this and this, its child, into here. Okay, so that's a Control C and Control W, and see in the mini buffer here, I chose this header over here, refile me here, and you'll see it will move this one to here, down here, if I press enter. Okay. Yeah, so if I do undo, yeah, so it seemed to have worked, but I'll touch on that in more detail later. Okay. Narrow buffer is interesting because I'll just show you. I'll just make the buffer concentrate on these two. What I mean is narrowing the buffer means the buffer will show only the world heading and its child or any other subtree. But in this case it's just one, and it will hide everything else. Alright, so I put my pointer here and do Control X and S. See? So you can after narrowing, you can concentrate only on this subtree. Okay, if you wanna go back to your normal view, you do widen buffer with Control X and W, and we're back. Okay, that's a useful feature. a related function is called sparse tree. What it does is it will, you know how we can go through the visibility cycle and where you can open or fold or unfold every heading. Okay, so sparse tree is where you will hide every, well, I would say fold. When I say hide, you'll fold every other heading except for those that match certain criteria. Okay, I'll demonstrate. So if you do Control-C/, it gives you the mini buffer. In this tutorial, I'll just do the R, which is a regex. So if I'm gonna I'll just search for again. Okay, see, it will tell you what it does. So I'm gonna match again. See, you will fold every other heading except for the one that matches. We have one match here, and you can see it's highlighted yellow. It says here, if you do Control-C, Control-C, it removes the highlighting, and you can go at the top here and, well, as you can see, you can do Shift Tab to open everything. Yeah, so that's how it works. Okay, alright, we're gonna go through a plain list quickly. Okay, let me just kill everything. Alright, so if you create a list and do old return, as we like we did before, but before it was a heading, but this time it's a list. Okay, so if you do old return, it'll give you the next list, well, next item in the same list. Okay, this is another item in the same list. Okay, so that's what it is. You know how a list item can also contain a checkbox? So if you place your pointer here and do old shift return, what do you think will happen? It will insert a list item with the checklist immediately after this one. Okay, okay, and you can check and uncheck this checklist by doing Control-C, Control-C, like this. Okay, very useful. So what I go through in this video is only the very fundamentals. Okay, but it makes your life easier if you know them. So same thing as we did before, Alt up, down, left, right. Okay, so if you want to move the first item to a second position, you do Alt down. Do it again, it goes to the third position. If you press up, it works as expected. Alright, and if you want to, I'll just create a new list here and go okay. If you do Alt right, it will demote this item. Okay, okay, so if you place your pointer here and do tab, as you can see, will fold and unfold. So this tells you that this item here is not a new list, it's a part of this list over here, but it's a sub item of the third list item over here. Okay, if you even go, so if you do Alt left, it promotes it, Alt right, it demotes it. Okay, Okay, so yeah, so indentation is important. So if I wanna finish this list over here after this sub item, if I wanna, you can either leave 2 spaces, or you can, if you do it like this also, because you don't start with the numeral here, it means this is not, you will not be the part of the list. Okay, so the indentation is important. And this org cycle list bullet, I'll just do it here. Okay, so it's Control C and then minus. Alright, so if I keep doing it, can you see it cycles through all the available bullets. Alright, so nothing special there. So I just copy this. This will be the very last point. Okay, so the list has to have, list items in the same level has to have the same indentation as the item before it. Alright, so this is, these two are in the same list. Okay, the attack of the Rohirrim and Eowyn's fight with the Witch King, they are in the same list. But these two, because the indentation, it has a greater indentation, these two are items of the second item. Okay, Eowyn's fight with the Witch King. And these two, Elizabeth Wood and Sean Austin, this is the second list. Okay, separate from the first one. Okay, that's it. So see you on the next video. Bye bye.